All right, so welcome back, Vault Hunters. Yes, the first major patch is going live today for Borderlands 4, and we have a huge list of changes with this patch, including things going on with each individual Vault Hunter. And guess what? Rejoice, console users, because the FOV slider is here. So that is fantastic news. So we're going to go over all the changes through these patch notes right now, starting from the very beginning. So let's get into the changes. Remember, if you want the update to be applied, you got to restart your game to ensure that the update goes through, restart Steam, what have you, and it should pop up for you guys. But yeah, let's get into the change list because we got some weekly activities updated. So here we go. It says weekly big encore boss has switched to a tougher variant of a different existing boss with even more rewarding loot pool for those that take it on. Now, the weekly wildcard mission has also changed. These missions feature a guaranteed legendary drop they can repeatedly earn to get your ideal role. Also, Maurice's Black Market vending machine has moved yet again to another location and changed its offerings. Remember, while the location is the same, your vending machine items are different from another player. So ask around to see if someone has the item you're looking for. Now, this stability and performance area or section of the blog post just says that you know, overall, we should be seeing improvements for performance. We'll see if that pans out to be true or not, but there's several different things that are mentioned here, including graphics preset could be set to high or very high when using run auto detect in visual menu. And, you know, they expect less hitches and glitches for low FPS and crashes and that sort of thing. Now, also, let's get into the Vault Hunter changes here and balance adjustments. What about Harlow the Gravatar? What has changed here? So Gravatar ground state capstone has been corrected to remove inaccurate verbiage about enemies taking reduced damage when they do not. Also, Gravatar Flux generator no longer heals enemies with potential transference capstone. Now, they also updated Gravatar Suppression passive to consistently grant lifesteal to allies. Okay. Address various reported issues with Gravatar unstable energy pocket credit from Chroma Accelerator action skill, and then includes instances where it would not disappear properly, convert to cryo damage, or split as intended with certain skill tree combinations. Skills that saw updates: special purpose magnets augment, the Shattering Light capstone, QED passive, break the ice passive, containment breach augment, and Eureka passive. So a lot of fixes right there for Harlow the Gravatar. Now, what about Amon the Forge Knight? So let's get into this right here. So we have Primal Surge passive now properly restores shield and ammo. So that's going to be awesome. And then Firewall action skill has been adjusted so Vengeance cannot be stored by Firewall before Scourge is active as intended. So that is going to be a fix right there. Now, Onslaughter Rocket Punch now connects more reliably with shield enemies, so that's definitely an improvement. And then they also address a reported issue with Forge Knight, Forge Axe not consistently seeking nearby enemies. So a lot of really cool quality of life adjustments for Amon. Let's get on to Vex the Siren. So we have addressed a reported issue with Siren Grave Harvest Augment being triggered while Incarnate is not active. They also addressed a reported issue where Siren Blight Attunement passive could occasionally fail to damage the Timekeeper, and damage caused by Siren Bomb passive now counts properly as companion damage and changes its color to match attuned element. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to some of my gameplay, you guys know I'm all about Ratha. So let's check out what is going on with him. Address a reported issue preventing Exo Soldier Blowout passive from stacking properly when repeating action skills. Okay, so that's really cool, noteworthy updates right there, making it feel better to play as our Vault Hunters. And yeah, we got to talk about what is happening around gear. There's been some updates here. So Vladov Atlan Gun Heavy Weapon Ordnance now properly targets Primordial Guardian Inceptus, and Queen's Rest pistols with dataless ammo switcher license underbarrel now shoot the correct projectiles, and gear with the short circuit augment now traces properly towards enemies instead of random directions, and address reported edge cases where interrupting reload could cause ammo desinks that would prevent ammo from firing. Now, here are some balance changes for Hellwalker. now always spawns with fire element. And for TDR weapons, plus 10% damage and plus 10% magazine size. That's definitely a buff there. Order pistol, lucky clover, rocket reload, increased fire rate, and order sniper rifle fisheye, increased damage. So some really nice buffs right there, and a good reason to try those weapons out if you kind of have been maybe neglecting them as well. And yeah, they also did some things around the UI and UX overall, making it cleaner, more crisp. And we'll have to get in here and see exactly how it feels. Adjusted inventory drop-down menu to prevent unintended selected changes, for example. And then there's a bunch of other minor adjustments in there as well. Also, for visuals, they address carryable objects disappearing or appearing in the wrong location after being picked up, which can be a pain in the butt. Improved triggering of armor segment breaks visual effects when shield capacity effects expire, so you can actually notice that sort of thing. They also updated NPC and enemy pathing as well, so that's going to be cool to see how the enemies now kind of like react to us. If there's significant improvements there. And they did mention that ambient critters have a more natural spawn behavior too. There's also some audio adjustments. I'm going to throw this in that description down below so you guys can take a look at this as well. Now, the most important thing is, of course, that I mentioned that we are getting the FOV slider on console. Increasing the FOV past the default could cause some dips in performance, they do warn. Now, they did say vehicle field of view settings will now be changed for both users when playing in split screen. So that is noteworthy. So we'll see how the performance dips, how significant of a dip it will be on consoles as we adjust that field of view. You guys are going to be the ones that judge that. Of course, you guys know I'm on PC, so I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about this. But I remember a lot of comments were like, hey, you know what? I just want my field of view option. I know I may take a hit in performance, but I really think it's worth it. So I think this is the first step, get the field of view slider in there, and then maybe down the road, Gearbox will, of course, give us more performance improvements regarding like console and how it handles with those field of view sliders adjusted. Now, they also did some other gameplay tweaks. I'm not going to read over all of these right here. Some of them are in regards to side missions and other things like that, but there are some noteworthy things here. So they updated beam hit detection as it was causing beams to not block properly. For example, Forge Knight, Forge Shield. Also, rep kits now consistently consume the correct amount of charges after activating Forge Knight's Scourge action skill. And then they prevented Forge Knight from sliding at the end of Molten Slam. And they also did update Zatra's lab fast travel unlock to after discovery. And there were some really weird, wonky things going on around with skill points and some other reward and progression issues, which were noted right here that I definitely want to highlight. So check it out. It says address a reported issue where players could lose or be rewarded unintended extra skill points in multiplayer. Also address an issue that could prevent contract target enemies from consistently spawning. An updated rep kit lifesteal challenge to track lifesteal from any source. So that's great. Prevented region discovery trophies achievements from unlocking before discovering all areas, and prevented instances of unowned DLC content appearing in chests or in menus. Now, they improved the clarity of DLC related warnings and reward availability, and address a reported issue where the reward center could stop working after claiming the Gilded Glory Pack rewards. Also, Reward Center pop-up now correctly excludes already claimed cosmetics and reduced sell prices on Gilded Glory Pack gear in vending machines, and updated the Break Free Pack Rewards bundle to redeem properly in all instances. So if you have trouble there, it should be good to go now. Now, challenge timing has been updated so players can properly progress from Ultimate Vault Hunter UVH 4 to UVH 5 after completing the required wildcard mission. So great there. And an important note here about that: when ranking up in multiplayer, players that are not the host will not see the change to their Ultimate Vault Hunter level, but will be able to switch to the higher level. This will be addressed in an upcoming update. So there's a note there. Updated class mods to prevent them from dropping with incorrect skill points as well. So actually some noteworthy stuff going on around some updates there. So yeah, kind of curious to see how this update pans out for everyone. Great to see that they already got the FOV slider in place on console. I'm really curious about the supposed performance update here. We'll see if it pans out to be true. You guys have got to let me know in the comments down below. Cross my fingers that is true. I've covered other games where they're like, hey, we've updated the performance and nothing really happens. But crossing my fingers that we do see that performance boost here as well. But yeah, overall, great news. We're going to be getting even more patches down the road. I'm going to be hopping into Borderlands 4 here in just a moment. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.